Welcome to Iraqi Dinar News, your daily source for real, verified updates on the revaluation of the Iraqi dinar and how it's shaping the country's financial path. As of the current date in the USA, something truly historic has just unfolded. Millions of eyes were fixed on their screens as Prime Minister Mohammed Shia al-Sudani appeared live on national television and announced what many believed they might never witness: the official revaluation of Iraq's currency. And this wasn't just a routine policy change. This was a bold declaration backed by months of planning and years of national anticipation, a clear step forward for Iraq's financial sovereignty. His tone was steady, confident, and resolute. Prime Minister Sudani made it official. Iraq is revaluing its national currency, the Iraqi dinar. This wasn't a symbolic gesture or theoretical adjustment. It was a formal economic maneuver, years in the making with measurable goals. Within moments of the live announcement, social media across Iraq and the broader region erupted with reaction. Hashtags trended, analysts responded, but most importantly, the public finally felt that long-promised change was no longer a dream. It had begun. According to the Prime Minister, this decision followed extensive consultations with both domestic economists and international financial authorities. The revaluation aims to strengthen the dinar, stabilize purchasing power, and give ordinary Iraqi citizens a new level of financial security. It's also a message to the world that Iraq is ready to participate fully in the global economy, not as a fragile state, but as a country rebuilding itself on real economic principles. So what does revaluation really mean for Iraq's people? In clear terms, it means the dinar now holds more value in global currency exchanges. That shift is already making waves. A stronger dinar means reduced import costs, lower inflation pressure, and more predictable local pricing. For Iraqi families, this could lead to more affordable daily goods, lower transportation expenses, and a deeper sense of financial stability that hasn't been seen in decades. For global investors, the message is just as powerful. Iraq is open for investment, and its financial system is becoming more transparent, more stable, and more capable of long-term growth. Prime Minister Sudani also noted that the timing of this move is not accidental. A number of economic forces have aligned to make 2025 the right moment for this bold policy shift. Oil prices remain above $70.00 per barrel, delivering Iraq a steady stream of foreign currency and giving the state ample reserves to support this transition. At the same time, Iraq has been making consistent progress toward membership in the World Trade Organization. A stable and strong currency is a fundamental requirement for WTO accession, and this revaluation is a major step in meeting that condition. Internally, the public pressure has reached a tipping point. Economic advisors, business leaders, and everyday citizens have all voiced frustration with the slow grind of inflation. With costs of living on the rise and salaries lagging behind, the call for reform could no longer be postponed. This revaluation is the government's response, signaling that it has heard the people and is acting decisively. But it's not just about stabilizing numbers. If implemented with discipline, this policy has the potential to trigger a cycle of improvement. Stronger currency leads to increased investment, which supports better infrastructure, healthcare, education, and employment. That, in turn, builds even more financial confidence. For years, inflation has quietly eroded the financial health of Iraqi households. Food, rent, fuel, everything has steadily risen in cost while real incomes have stayed flat. Now, with the dinar gaining strength, import costs could decline. That means local prices could stabilize or even fall. Families might start to see a bit more breathing room. Wages may stretch further. Savings could hold their value. This is the kind of shift that can affect daily life, giving people back the ability to plan, to build, to believe again. This policy also has major implications for Iraq's business community. Small and medium enterprises stand to gain the most. With a more valuable dinar, they can reduce their cost of imported goods and supplies. They can negotiate foreign contracts with more certainty. They can hire, invest, and expand with a higher level of financial confidence. From agriculture to retail, manufacturing to logistics, this single shift could energize nearly every sector of Iraq's private economy. However, as with any major economic shift not everyone is celebrating, caution is natural. Economists have raised valid concerns, particularly around the sudden nature of the revaluation. Rapid changes can create short-term uncertainty. People living on fixed incomes might be worried about the new cost structures. Banks and lending institutions will need to update their systems swiftly. There are also voices from outside Iraq suggesting that this move might be politically timed rather than economically essential. Skepticism remains, but so does determination. Former Prime Minister Soudani anticipated this response. During his live announcement, he acknowledged the risks, but reassured the nation with a promise that transparency would guide the process. The government is committed to regular updates, ongoing press conferences, and nationwide education campaigns to ensure people understand exactly what's happening. The Central Bank of Iraq is already implementing the new exchange rate and is working tirelessly to guide financial institutions through the change. The focus is not just on the policy itself, but on the people affected by it, everyday Iraqis who deserve clarity and support during this transition. The international community is watching closely. Countries in the Gulf, Europe, and North America are evaluating how this shift will affect trade deals, energy partnerships, and currency strategies. Some contracts may need to be renegotiated. Some investors may pause to assess Iraq's long-term commitment. But others, especially those who have followed Iraq's trajectory closely, may see this as the entry point for deeper cooperation. Iraq's push for World Trade Organization membership becomes even more viable now. A stable and reliable currency is a critical requirement for WTO entry, and this revaluation moves Iraq one step closer to joining the ranks of fully integrated global trade economies. If Iraq completes this transition successfully, the long-term impact could be transformative. New markets could open for Iraqi exports. Tariffs could be reduced. Foreign investors might enter the country with renewed confidence. It could be the spark for more employment, more innovation, and more opportunity. But everything hinges on one thing: trust. Currency is not just paper or digital code, it's belief. People must believe that the money they hold today will retain value tomorrow. That trust is the invisible foundation of every economy. Former Prime Minister Soudani made it clear that earning that trust is now the government's mission. He asked citizens to support the process, but not blindly. He committed to transparency, financial education, and accountability. And in return, he asked for patience, unity, and resilience. This is why the revaluation wasn't just announced with a press release, it was delivered live in front of the people. It was meant to be seen, to be heard, to be remembered. A government finally standing before its people, not with vague promises, but with action. And it wasn't just words. It was a signal of presence, of responsibility, of partnership between the state and its citizens. The response has been overwhelming. Iraqis have taken to social media platforms like Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok to share their reactions, some joyful, some skeptical, all deeply engaged. This isn't apathy, it's participation. That level of involvement, of care, is one of the most powerful assets Iraq has right now. A people who are watching closely, asking hard questions, and investing emotionally in the direction of their country. Looking ahead, if this policy stays the course, Iraq could see real progress. Families may find new financial security, small businesses might expand, infrastructure projects could accelerate, schools and clinics may receive more consistent funding, jobs could grow, services could improve. The path is not guaranteed, but the potential is real, and for once, the policy appears to match the people's expectations. This change wasn't a sudden invention, it's the product of years of hardship, of rebuilding, of voices demanding better. Iraq has endured more than most nations could bear: war, sanctions, instability. But now, the government is taking a stand. The revaluation is more than an economic shift, it's a statement of renewal. It says we are ready, we believe in our people, we believe in our future. And for the first time in a generation, we are building a financial system that reflects that belief. So what comes next? If you're a citizen, stay informed. Attend your local discussions, listen to government briefings, ask questions, share only verified updates. If you own a business, talk to your accountant or financial advisor. Understand how these changes can benefit your operations. If you're a student, ask your teachers about global economics and Iraq's place in the world. And if you're holding on to hope for a brighter future, don't let go. This is Iraqi Dinar News. We will continue covering every announcement, every adjustment, and every public reaction as it unfolds. If today's update helped you understand what's at stake, please subscribe, share this with others, and let your voice be part of the national conversation. The revaluation is real, the moment is historic, and the next chapter is being written by all of us.